photobomb, come on that side.
You can come in with me. You want to come in? All right, we're about to start here, and I'm so excited to be here at Hello Sunshine. And yeah, let's make the focus of today. Maybe I will open with the poem, and we'll end with some of the Spirit Junkie cards. Let's listen to the poem. Lately, I've been really tuning into trying to meditate more and not just like be mindful. So in the morning, I really am trying to sit for, I don't always make it to 20 minutes, but it's recommended you try 20 minutes by my guru, mindfulness teacher. And I have a mantra that I repeat, but at the end of it, I do a little like self-Reiki where I'm just sending myself good energy for the day. And I've been repeating affirmations, and they're simple ones like I am perfect health. I'll repeat 3 times, and I'll say I am unlimited. I am all powerful. I'm co-creating, and I repeat that every single morning. It's part of my reminders that I think when you're trying to put out good energy, we are unlimited in that. So the poem is called Limitless by Dana Folds, who teaches up at Kripalu. Limitless. Sun says, be your own illumination. Wren says, sing your heart out all day long. Stream says, do not stop for any obstacles. Oak says, when the wind blows, bend easily and trust your roots to hold. Stars say, what you see is one small slice of a single modest galaxy. Remember that vastness cannot be grasped by mind. Ant says, small does not mean powerless. Silence says nothing. In the quiet, everything comes clear. I say, limitless. I say, yes. All right, so let's put on a little bit of the, actually, you know what, I'm gonna mostly do it with just some chimes at the end. So let's go without some music to guide us today, and we'll instead use our voices and our inner thoughts as well as our mantra, maybe that affirmation, I am limitless, and our breath guide us. So first thing I'm gonna ask you guys to do is just close your eyes if you're comfortable with it. If not, you can just look down at the mat, and you can take your hands to your shins. And resting them there, if you close your eyes, try to have a nice tall spine, chin slightly tucked. Again, resting the eyes, either looking down or, closing them. And just notice any sounds. This is a little tuning in. Maybe the sounds, you can notice the ones that are furthest away. Maybe you hear a little bit of traffic or the fan for the heating system. Maybe we'll hear a train coming by. And then try to bring your noticing a little closer. Perhaps the water in the apartment above us. And then try to bring your noticing even closer to your body. Maybe the sound of your swallowing, the sound of food digesting in your belly. Notice how just by closing one of the senses, the other senses become a little more alive. Now notice how you're feeling in terms of how your body temperature is. Notice where your feet and your body meet the mat. Notice the sensation of any air on your skin. Is it warm, cool? You could even take your fingers under your nose. Notice the breathing of your nose and the warmth coming out. Even that is pretty amazing. That we breathe in oxygen that trees create, and we breathe out carbon dioxide that they need. Inhalation and exhalation. And notice anything you might taste, remnants of coffee or tea or your dinner. Take a nice inhale. Notice any smells or scents around you. And of course, in a minute, when we open our eyes, we'll notice the beautiful room and the colors of the store. And then I invite you to just place your hands over your heart and thinking about that I am limitless poem. And anything that you've said as a little bit of a title of what you journaled about, your imagination, what is beautiful and right. Inhale a little of that good energy from those thoughts into your chest, your lungs. Exhale out those intentions. So be it, so they are, and so it is. And then I invite you to flutter your eyes open and rub your palms together. Create a little friction. And then let's start with a little bit of fanning our hearts, getting some energy around us. If you know anything about yoga, there's some talk of different energy centers in the body. Our roots connect us to the ground. Our roots connect us to our ancestors being strong. And our heart center is kind of a green. Maybe imagine a green light, fanning the flames of the green, bright light, getting stronger, and that love coming out of your heart. And that love going into your heart from the people around you that you love. Good. And then imagine, maybe bring your hands into karate chops. Imagine anything you want to get rid of in front of your solar plexus and chop it away. Go a little faster. Chop, chop, chop. A little faster. A little faster. Keep going. Maybe laugh a little. And then stop and feel the energy you've just created. You're all energy. Beautiful. And then place your hands on your shins and let's inhale forward. Exhale back, a little bit of some spine opening. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. And noticing this is kind of on the lower back, lumbar spine. Let's do 2 more at your own pace. And then you're going to place your hands on your kneecaps, inhaling forward, exhaling back. And this is working more of the upper spine. Waking up the spine, waking up the body before we move into any other yoga poses is always a good idea. I try to do this in the morning. It's just like a seated cat-cow. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. And then we're going to do some, I don't know, turns, if you will, coming forward, trying to keep both sit bones on the ground. So inhaling forward, exhaling back. Again, just limbering up the spine, loosening up. Let's do 2 more wherever you're at. I tend to go fast on these, but the slower the better. And next time you come back up forward, reverse the direction. Beautiful. And then come back to seated nice and tall. Maybe take your feet out into a butterfly pose if that's accessible to you. If not, it's okay. And they do not need to be close. They can be, all the way at the end of the mat, and then just give your toes a little bit of a rub. These feet, almost like taking your feet open like a book, rubbing them a little bit. They walk us through life. We forget about them unless they get a manicure or a pedicure. Good. And then maybe rocking a little bit side to side. Going with the flow of life. Good, and then if you want, inhaling them a little bit closer. And then sitting up nice and tall. Almost like there's a string on the back of your crown and your spine. And then inhaling nice and tall one more time, exhaling, and then bringing it down to a forward fold. You do not need to go far. Just take it as far as comfortable. You could even take your elbows and push down a little bit if you wanted more of an inner thigh stretch. Deep inhale, exhale, and then sit back up nice and tall on your inhale and take your legs out into a V. They do not need to be far. Everybody's different. Everybody's hip joints are different. I like to just shake them around a little bit and then tap down the inside and up the outside, waking up the legs and the meridians a little. Another time, we're going to do it 3 times. Down the inside, up the outside, and then reverse after the 3rd time. Going down the outside and up the inside. Feels so good. I I know, right? Waking the body up. This always brings me back to my dad. My mother used to get such muscle knots. And so she'd be like, oh, Bob. So it would get right in this area, and he would come over, and we'd call it bum, 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 which basically was just like kind of a Swedish massage where he would massage her leg and finally get the knot out. And I'm starting to find my circulation has issues like that, where if I get too cold in my lower legs or at night, so we got to make sure we're taking care of our bodies. All right, we're going to inhale our arms nice and tall, noticing our sit bones on the ground, and then you're going to turn your torso to the right, facing the right leg, exhale down. I'm not even going to attempt to touch my toes. I don't usually make it there. Just don't lock the knees too much and land wherever you land, and then you can take a nice passive fold over it. Inhaling, exhaling, and then I like to rub my hands up the leg and then let any energy go. Just flick it away. Good. And then come back to center. Inhaling the arms up one more time, grab some sunshine, turn over your left leg, and exhale down. Again, once you've reached wherever you can, it could be your toes, your thigh, your knee, inhaling that head nice and tall and exhaling into a nice passive fold. Good, inhale, exhale, and then again, drag that energy up and then throw it away. And then inhale, center one last time, this time coming down in between both legs as far as you can go. Don't push it, you know your body well, and then exhaling passively. Beautiful. And then walk those hands back to your torso, giving our thighs and our hip joints a little love. We're gonna I'm gonna pick up starting with my right side and just rock my right leg like a baby. Just take care of that leg. And then you could do little like circles if you'd like in one direction and the other, moving some of that synovial fluid around. As we were saying before we started, the importance of muscle around our joints. And as we age, you can take a cortisone shot for that stuff, but it only lasts a couple weeks and it's not getting to the root of the problem. Great, and then we're gonna take the left leg and rock it around, working that hip joint like a little baby. Give your foot a rub while they're there, warm them up. And then again, if you want to circle in one way and then the other. Great. And then take your legs one last thing before we come to an actual cat-cow. Take them in front of you and you're just going to point and flex your toes. Go ahead, and then you can roll them in one direction and then the other. Good, and then take your hands with your thumb behind your shoulders, and then we're going to roll them in one direction, inhaling forward, exhaling back. And then you can reverse. Good, waken up the shoulder joints a little bit. We store a lot of energy in our joints. Good, and then shake it out a little, and we'll come to a tabletop pose. You can always pad the knee area if you'd like by doubling your mat. Hang for your ankles and your wrists. And we're going to take a nice flat back, and then we're going to inhale into a cat pose. I like to tuck my toes for these. And then exhale, rounding the spine like an upside down U. Actually, this is the cat. This is the Halloween cat. The other one's cow. Inhaling into cow. And exhale as you come into cat. Welcoming all the clicks and ticks of the joints. And exhale. Good. And then I invite you, if you like, to widen the knees a little bit and do some barrel rolls. Again, kind of just moving the spine a little more, opening up the shoulder and the hip blades. It's all like a self-massage. It just feels so good. It is. When do we take time, right? Right? To slowly. And then when you're back at tabletop pose, I'm going to have you take your left hand a little bit more, like more underneath your face. The knees can be as wide as comfortable. And then we're going to inhale the right arm up, grab a little sunshine, wave at the sun, and then thread the needle by tucking that arm underneath the other. If you can, you want to bring your shoulder and in my case, my right side of my face onto the mat. You can deepen the stretch by taking the left arm out to the top of the mat or to the side, pushing into the bend a little bit more. breathing, smiling. One more nice deep inhale. Exhale. Good. And then we're going to come back up to tabletop. Take it to the other side. Maybe wag the tail a little bit just to let any energy on that side go. And then we're going to inhale the opposite arm up, grab some sunshine, and tuck it underneath. Taking the opposite shoulder and cheek to the mat. Good. And you know what to do if you want to stretch it. Make the stretch deeper. You could take a mind behind your back. Smiling, inhaling, and exhaling. Beautiful. When you're ready, you're going to unwind, come back to tabletop. And we'll take our first downward dog. If you'd like to join me there, you always have the option to modify. You could just do a wide-legged child's pose if you didn't want to do a downward facing dog. You could also take a puppy pose or a heart to earth pose, which is just extending and opening the heart and taking the arms out in front of you, feeling the shoulders open. It's totally up to you. You make it your own. I'm going to take a downward dog, inhaling and then exhaling as I come up, pedaling my feet. Ears are kind of between your your elbows are in over near your ears. Again, take that as deep as you like. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. And then you're going to turn and look to the top of your mat and walk your feet up to your hands. And then you're going to take a nice ragdoll pose by letting everything go. I like to rest my thighs, my belly right on top of my thighs. And then I'm going to do a little turn maybe and walking my hands from one side of the mat to the other. This is great for opening and stretching out the lower back. Don't forget to breathe. I like to shake my head yes, shake my head no. Letting the spine go. I'll often grab my opposite elbows and just do a little bit of a elephant's trunk back and forth. Great. You can rock the baby. You could even do a little bit more of a back stretch if you wanted to take your arms and a bind above you. Good, and then let it all go. Shake your head yes, no. And we're going to come up halfway to a flat back, inhaling. And exhale, release. And then let's roll up one vertebra at a time. A nice standing pose. The head comes up last. Rolling the shoulders back. Taking a mountain pose. Seeing how you feel. Maybe in this mountain pose with your eyes closed, you repeat softly to yourself in your head, I am limitless. I am unlimited. Fanning the fingers wide. Beautiful. Inhale, exhale. Imagining those roots from our feet anchoring us down for anything we meet in life. Good. Place your hands over your heart. Set a little intention, maybe back to our opening or anyone who might need it. Good. And then blow it out to the universe. And then we're going to come back. We're going to do our reverse swan dive by taking our arms over our head. Actually, before we do the swan dive, why don't we take the right hand holding the left wrist, noticing that you're engaging your navel 20%. And feet are about hip width apart, and then you're going to inhale, and on the exhale, you're going to bend and take that opening on my side. It's my left side, left rib cage, heart facing the sun, smile gently on the lips. Good, inhale back up tall. You're going to take the opposite hand to the opposite wrist. And exhale as you stretch the opposite rib cage, heart facing the sun. Good, inhale nice and tall again. If you'd like, you're gonna, if you want, tighten your glutes, and you could take a slight back bend, but always protect the lower back by tightening the glutes. Smiling, exhale, great. All right, now we're gonna do the reverse swan dive. So inhaling nice and tall, exhaling down, and inhale halfway. Exhale, coming down to plank. It could be a knees down plank. I'm going to invite us in plank position. Hands are under your shoulders. Inhaling, and on the exhale, whispering, I am strong as you come down. Exhale. Beautiful. If you'd like, you could take a baby cobra, tightening the glutes, pushing the feet into the mat, the tops of the feet, exhale down. Good. And then we're going to come back up to a plank. Again, it could be a knees down, whatever you choose. And this time you're going to say, I am unlimited. And exhale down. I'm going to come up to an up dog or a baby cobra, whatever you guys choose. Exhale to child's pose. Let out a nice sigh if you'd like. I like to roll on my forehead, almost massaging my third eye, my intuition. You could always take your hands into prayer pose above your head if you'd like. A little bit of stretch underneath the arms and the armpits. Inhaling, exhaling. While we're here, we could also take our hands to the right side of the mat, taking the left hand on top of it, and feel the stretch in the left rib cage. Inhaling and exhaling while we're there. And then take the hands over to the opposite side, left side of the mat, right hand on top of the left. Inhaling and exhaling, feeling the stretch on the right side of the body. Beautiful. Great, come back to center, and you're going to gently come up. I'm going to invite us, if you'd like, to come back. We're going to move into kind of a camel pose. So you would tuck your toes. You can also just sit on your toes if it's too much to tuck them. This is a great way to wake your body up in the morning. And then, depending on your comfort level, if you want to inhale up, okay, noticing where you are. And then we're going to I'm going to start with my right hand. I'm going to come back to touch my right heel and noticing, trying to open the heart, smiling while I do it. Beautiful. If you can't go there, you could just go back as far as you can. And then inhale straight one more time. And then we're going to take to the left side. So inhaling up, and then a little bit of a heart opener back bend to the left heel. Beautiful. Smiling. Inhaling up, and then if you'd like, you can try to come back to both heels. This is camel pose. If this is not in your practice, or you want to just meet yourself, you can just keep the heart open and tighten the glutes, and just come back a little into a gentle back bend. It's up to you. Beautiful. Coming back up, let's come to a squat. So taking our legs to the outside of the mat. If you can, flat-footed. If not, whatever works for you, you're going to just come to a squat. This is a great, I like to use my elbows to push against the inside of the knee, just to help the squat more. And this is great for your, the organs in the lower part of the body. Smiling, exhaling. Beautiful. And you'll meet me back in a seated pose. Keeping it gentle tonight on a Monday night. And maybe before we come into a Shavasana, where I have a little bit of some sounds for you, thinking back to that I am unlimited mantra. Beautiful. Repeating that in your head. And you're going to take your hands, I'm going to start with my left hand and tent them out on the side, taking my right arm and inhaling it up and over, making sure my right sit bone stays on the mat. Just opening again that right side of the body. You start with whatever side you guys want. Heart facing the sun, good, and then exhaling that hand down and taking it to the opposite side. Inhaling up and over, exhaling. Keeping both sit bones on the mat. Heart facing the sun. And exhaling. Good. Let's open our arms to a nice big T, and then crossing the right hand over. Give ourselves a hug. Could use a little more of that. Good. Noticing the stretch in the back of the shoulder blade area. And then if you'd like, you can also weave up into kind of a eagle arms. Bless you. And if you can't touch them, wherever they land is fine. Bless you. And then inhaling up, you're good. And exhaling down. And inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. And gently unclasp them. And then taking those arms out into a nice T again, and the opposite arm on top. Give yourself a hug. Inhaling and exhaling. Gently whispering in your head, maybe I love myself. Good, and then you can take the arms up into an eagle arms if you'd like, if you're able to touch the opposite palm. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale up, exhale down. One last time, inhale up, exhale down. Beautiful, unclasp. Good. And then I'm going to invite you in whatever way you feel comfortable to come into a Shavasana. So I like to usually take my feet out in front of me, and then you can kind of do like a mini boat pose as you kind of work on balance and your core. Coming down, just slowly take a Shavasana, the most important pose where we let all of our energy just settle in our bodies. I like to have my feet as wide as the mat, shoulders open, almost like I'm trying to touch my shoulder blades together on the mat, and fanning my fingers off to the sides of the mat, just noticing how you feel. I like to think of myself almost like an inflatable bed that's deflating, letting everything out. With each exhale, coming closer and closer to the floor. Letting all stress go, just being here now. Relax the crown of the head, come down to your forehead, relax your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyes, your eye sockets, your cheeks. Relax your ears, your jaw, your mouth. Let your tongue hang from the roof of your mouth. Relax the neck. Relax the shoulders down, upper arms, lower arms. Relax each of your fingers, your palm. Relax the torso, the navel. Relax the glutes. Relax the upper thighs. Relax the knees. Relax the lower legs, the shins. Relax the ankles, bottom of your feet. Relax all of your toes. Relax the whole body. Noticing how your body feels. Maybe gently beginning to move your toes, your fingers, to bring a little presence back to your body. You can roll your wrists or ankles. You can take a nice long pencil stretch, taking your arms above your head, stretching all the way from your toes to your fingertips, like you might wake up in the morning. And then when you're ready, you can either rock and roll or roll to a side. Meet me back in a seated position. I invite you to just keep your eyes closed. I'm going to read that Limitless poem one more time. Limitless by Dana Foltz. Sun says, be your own illumination. Wren says, sing your heart out all day long. Stream says, do not stop for any obstacle. Oak says, when the wind blows, bend easily and trust your roots to hold. Stars say, what you see is one small slice of a single modest galaxy. Remember that vastness cannot be grasped by mind. Ant says, small does not mean powerless. Silence says nothing. In the quiet, everything comes clear. I say limitless. I say yes. I invite you to take your hands to heart center or over your heart. Make a nice deep inhale. Exhaling out that beautiful intention we set. And I'd invite you, if you'd like to seal our practice with an Om as we inhale. On the exhale. Om. The light in me sees and honors and loves the light in you. Namaste.